Hi there, I'm Julie Hyde, and welcome back to Leading You, a podcast that is dedicated to unlocking your full potential as a leader. I have just returned from an epic holiday in Central Australia and also Northern Australia. So it was 3 weeks and it was just magic. And that's why we had a little bit of a break with Leading You, because I really wanted to be present and invest all of my time and all of my focus into enjoying my holiday, because it was definitely a bucket list trip and something that I've dreamed of doing my whole life, and it came true. And I can certainly tell you that it exceeded expectations. So if you're thinking about traveling to Central Australia or either the Northern Territory as a whole, it is absolutely magical. So now I'm back, and what I wanted to dive into today was to dive into 5 transformative strategies that is going to level up your leadership skills. This is applicable for long-term leaders, experienced leaders, but also up-and-coming leaders, to really give you some actionable tips that will inspire, that will empower, and innovate your leadership skills like never before. Now, what you will notice is that these tips are focused on you, because you are the one thing that you can control as a leader. So it's incredibly important to get your skills as a leader, as a self-leader, right first. Sometimes as a leader, we tend to be outward focused. We focus on the business, we focus on the people, we focus on our clients, the strategy, our stakeholders. There's so much to focus on outwardly, but it's incredibly important to focus inward. And that's why I start my book, You Always Have a Choice, with a beautiful poem by Dale Wimbrough, which talks about looking in the mirror and making sure that you're really proud of who is staring back at you. So grab a notebook and get ready to take some game-changing notes. So without further ado, let's get started. Now, number 1 is to invest in your personal well-being and growth. And this is no surprise with the level of burnout, with the level of exhaustion, with the level of overwhelm increasing. You are responsible for your health. No one else can look after your health for you. It is your responsibility to take care of you. So when you're feeling exhausted, you need to ensure that you get the rest that you need. Sleep is something that we compromise for busy, not only as leaders, but as people. And sleep is obviously something that the human body needs to enable you to operate at your full potential, at your optimum level. So ensuring that you have good sleep strategies, that you eat well, that you're getting enough rest, that you allow your brain to rest, that you allow your brain to reflect and navigate through the chaos of the day, but to really make sure that you are doing what is within your control to avoid burnout, to avoid exhaustion, and to manage the overwhelm that is inevitably going to happen, but it is something that you can 100% control. So building a superpower that is your mindset, that really helps you and enables you and inspires you to focus on that. And this also is a strategy that allows people to see what is possible for them. So if you're role modeling well-being, whether physical and mental, that's going to show others, particularly people in your team, what is possible for them. And it can absolutely have a massive impact on your performance and the culture. So that's the first thing. The second thing is to enhance your emotional intelligence. EQ, emotionally intelligent leaders are so much more effective than those who simply have the IQ, the intelligence. So that's thinking about how you self-regulate. That's thinking about your own self-awareness. And it's thinking about the relationships that you have with others. So it's being really aware of, if people push your buttons, why do you react in a particular way? Why is it that they are pushing your buttons? What is it about that situation that you are allowing to impact your emotions? With your social awareness, it's being really aware of how you impact others around you. So it's being aware of how your voice, the words you use, your tone, your behaviors, how that impacts on others and what their reactions are like. And also how your relationship is with others. How are they interacting with you? Is it open and honest and transparent? Or are people fearful of communicating with you? As I say, this is not only applicable to leaders, but it's also applicable to you as a human. It might be you as a dad, as a mom, as a friend, a peer, whatever that looks like for you. But developing emotional intelligence really helps you understand your own emotions and that of others, and really helps you to build very strong relationships with yourself in the first instance and also with others. The third thing is effective communication. Communication is the fundamental to the success of anything: culture, performance, relationships, you name it. Communication is at the foundation of everything. So how you communicate is fundamental to your success as a leader, to your success as an individual, and to the quality of the relationships that you have. This includes being able to articulate your vision as a leader, to actively listen to people around you. But it's not only listening to what's been said, it's listening to what's not been said. And that is sometimes the key to unlocking solutions to problems that might be happening, is what's not being said rather than what is being said. Because a lot of people say a lot of things, but when you dig down into it, it's really interesting to understand, what are they actually really saying? Is it something of substance? Is it something that's truth? Or is it something that you want to hear? So effective communication enhances everything. And I am a big believer that the more you communicate, the better, particularly when you're going through change. And of course, change is a constant at the moment in business and also in life. So the more you communicate, even if there's nothing to communicate, the better. Because if you're not communicating, that can often cause people to fill in the blanks, which means that people make things up or they assume things. That's not great for business. So the more you communicate, the better. The fourth thing is to empower and delegate. This is probably one of the biggest learnings that I learned early in my leadership career, was that micromanagement stifles creativity and trust. Now, you might be a bit of a control freak as a leader, and you might be taking a lot of things on yourself in the belief that you're protecting your team, that you think that your team are too busy at the moment to take on other tasks, that you don't want to overwhelm them. But sometimes that can have the opposite effect. By not delegating, by not empowering, people can feel really deflated. They can feel like you don't trust them. And that can really impact the culture, and it can really impact people's will and motivation to want to come to work. Because if they're not pushed outside of their comfort zone, if they're not learning new things, then what's the point of their role within the organization or within your business unit? So empowering and delegating is a really critical task to do well as a leader, because delegation is not abdication. So you can't just delegate and abdicate the task. There is a process that you need to implement for your delegation processes so that you have comfort that tasks are done, and that there's accountability for the person that you delegate the task to. And that's something that I speak to a lot of my clients about and coach to very much in my executive coaching programs. So this, as I say, is a critical task, and it very much inspires and empowers growth and motivation. And the fifth thing is for you as a leader to continuously learn and adapt. I think we all know leaders who haven't invested in their own learning and who haven't adapted to new ways of working, to new ways of thinking, to new ways of leading. And of course, they will have suffered the consequences for that. Whereas on the opposite side of the fence, there are people who have invested in learning and adapting, and who have been really aware and conscious of what's going on, not only in the marketplace, but with their people, and have adapted their leadership in terms of how they need to lead, what they need to know, and where they get their inspiration from. So this is something that can really fuel your leadership capability and ability, and to enable you to seek out new challenges, and to be able to inspire those around you. So to read, to seek out workshops, to speak to other people like your peers about what they're doing, how they're doing it, who are they listening to, where are they getting their inspiration from, what fantastic podcasts can you listen to that are going to inspire new ideas and inspire new ways of thinking. So that curiosity as a leader is something that is really going to enable you to be a better leader, and it will really work for you in the future. So by implementing these 5 strategies, it can very much significantly elevate your leadership game. And if you found today's episode helpful, please leave a review or leave a rating, and please share this with other people, because we're in the time of the year where, well, particularly in Australia, where it's winter, it's cold, it's grey, and sometimes motivation can wane. And this is a really great time to look in the mirror and get a really good feel for where you're at with your leadership, and then think about what from those 5 strategies can you implement to really elevate your leadership skills. So thanks for tuning in, and I look forward to sharing the next podcast episode with you.